Teotwawki. Have you heard this word before? It's kind of an odd word, but it stands for the end of the world as we know it. The end of the world as we know it. It's a word that's used by preppers, those that are planning for the end of society. They're planning for what they sometimes call Armageddon, or the end of governments. And so what do? Because they feel the end of the world as we know it is just around the corner, they stockpile food, weapons, ammunition, and count on their preparations and, well, hopefully their skills to overcome the end of the world. Well, is that the perspective that we're supposed to have? Certainly, the world as we know it has changed. The whole coronavirus has brought about so many changes. But what's our response to that? Is it to stockpile ammunition and food and get in a bunker? Is that what we're supposed to do? Well, when you recognize what Christ said about this, he pointed to the kind of preparation that we need to have. And we can find that in the Olivet prophecies, whether you go to Matthew 24 or Luke 13, or Mark 13 or Luke 21. I'll read what Christ said in Mark 13, verse 19. Let's notice what Christ had to say. He said this, "For in those days there'll be tribulation." It's going to be difficult, "such as not has been since the beginning of creation, which God created until this time, nor ever shall be." Then he says this, "Unless the Lord has shortened those days, no flesh will be saved. But for the elect's sake, whom he chose, he shortens the days." So is ammunition going to save us from that time? Is a bunker going to save us? Are weapons and a stockpile of food? Not according to what Christ says. This will be the worst ever. And unless God intervenes, there is no hope. So how are we going to survive? How are we going to survive this coming time, this tribulation that's on the horizon? Well, it's going to be a result of God's providence and our spiritual preparation. That's really what it's about. It's our perseverance to follow the truth and stay close to God. Not stockpiling physical supplies. It's about the spiritual connections. It's developing a close relationship with God. It's maintaining that relationship with God and living His way. That's really what's most important. And in Luke chapter 21, verse 36, Christ also said, "Watch and pray always, that you may be counted worthy to escape all these things that will come to pass and stand before the Son of Man." So if you're going to be ready for Teotwawki, for the end of the world as we know it, for the great tribulation that's on the horizon, now's the time to draw close to God. Be spiritually prepared, and you'll be ready for the return of Christ. That's BT Daily. We'll see you next time.